Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for tuning in. John Kelly Profiler here, and welcome. Welcome to today's show. Today, we're going to be focusing again because we had so many people that were interested in the last show, and we got so many great comments from you guys. It's unbelievable. So we're going to add to it because it was very, very interesting, and you guys had a lot of questions, and we want to try and answer those questions for you. So the name of the show today, again, it's going to be like a part two. It's Richard Allen, Bridge Guy. Is Bridge Guy Richard Allen? How do you want to look at it? Okay. He said he is. He confessed. He said he is. Said he's Bridge Guy. So we'll see where that all goes. By the way, Richard Allen, and I always got to put this up there. Richard Allen is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. There's no question about that. And at this time, we want to send our deepest condolences out to the families and friends of Libby and Abby. We're very, very sad over this situation, even though it's been all these years. The sadness doesn't go away when you see two young girls get murdered and kind of just thrown to the side in the woods. It's very sad. At this time, too, I'd also like to bring out my book, Discovering Lazarus. I can't thank you all for all your fantastic feedback, for your purchases. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly of John Kelly, Discovering Lazarus. How I conquered a severe cocaine addiction, went into recovery, became a counselor. If I could do it, you could do it too, for any of you out there that are having a problem with drugs. If I can do it, you can do it, okay? It's that simple, and that's what a lot of this book talks about too. How I became a counselor, how I became a psychotherapist, and eventually I became a profiler. So Discovering Lazarus, again, thank you all so much for your purchases and kind comments. Truly appreciate it. Something else you have to understand, when you guys send over your comments, it's your opinions. Your opinions, and everybody's entitled to an opinion. No one is wrong here. When you comment, you're not wrong. It's your opinion. We're not getting it to right or wrong here. We're not judging. It's your opinion. That's the way this goes, and all of us have different opinions. And, it's a mystery that we're trying to solve, that we got involved in years ago. And these are our opinions. And I want to give you my opinion. That's what's most important. Is Bridge Guy the killer? Ellie says Bridge Guy's the killer. We're not going to get into the sacrifices right now, okay? That's going to come. There's a whole show that has to be dedicated to all this Odinism and sacrifices and stuff. But I think you're going to find this show extremely interesting. And if you like it, please like it. And if you like what we're doing, please subscribe. We truly appreciate it. We can't thank you enough. And we will always get back to you. As you guys know, we will always get back to you when you comment. And man, I'll tell you, there were a lot of comments on that last show. So we have some more questions. The powers are in the question. And, let's see what you have to say today. Like I said, I want to give you my opinion. Bridge Guy is the killer as far as law enforcement goes. Some of you guys said it can't be Richard Allen because he has no history of attacking young girls. That's just your opinion. Well, no history we know of. That is absolutely true. But that doesn't mean there is a history. And I'll give you an example. We have a case now that we're following over in Long Island. Fellow's name is Rex Uriman. He's been arrested. Law enforcement says he's the Long Island serial killer. And they arrested him, I think, on 5 or 6 murders right now. And, they're setting up a court date. They're still investigating many more murders, but yet no history, no legal history at all has this man. And this man's up there in age too. No history. Professional guy, had an office in downtown Manhattan, architect, extremely educated, no history at all. And they're saying this guy is one of the worst serial killers that ever lived. So we're going to wait and see. We're going to wait and see, all of the evidence law enforcement has to put out there, and then we'll judge that as well. Something else that we know with Bridge Guy is that, people believe that it can't be Richard Allen, and I understand that. I understand you saying that because Libby's phone that supposedly went dead came on around 2 or 2:30 that morning, or early in the morning. I'm not exact on the time. So a lot of you had an opinion that, this couldn't have been Richard Allen because he was home and he wouldn't have been out and about that early in the morning. His wife would have known it. He would have been missing. All true, I suspect. However, then how did the phone get turned on? And there's some speculation out there that whoever the killer was moving Libby's body and the phone possibly went on. Okay, I hear what you're saying, but also there's something else I think you guys need to understand. There's such a thing as predation, okay? And predation is when a predator takes advantage of another victim, all right? So what I'm saying by that is if we have a victim that is dead and we're looking at the various animals in the woods out there, some of them could have realized that Abby was dead. I'm sorry, could have realized that Libby was dead, could have smelled the blood because we understand there was a lot of bloodletting, and an animal could have came and moved Libby's body to some degree. I'm not saying an animal carried her body away, but they're predators. And animals are attracted by the smell of blood, and an animal may show up to check out the body to see exactly, if there's anything there for them, and, would move the body, could move the body. I'm not saying that definitely happened, but we cannot rule that out because over the years, we have seen many bodies who have been focused on by various animals in the woods and predation. Okay, they attacked and really I hate to talk about it in this kind of language, but they really feasted on various bodies. There's no question about it. We have run across that numerous times through the years. So I just want you to think about an animal possibly moving Livy's body that could have done something, jarred the phone, whatever, which made it go on for, I don't know how long, not quickly, but on and off, and I'm not saying it was turned off by anyone. From the information I have, only Ellie knows for sure. It could have been shooken, taken, moved in some way by some animal that lived out there in the woods. Also, something else I wanted to talk about is that, when you look at a lot of you that voiced your opinion, and rightfully so, that you didn't believe Bridge Guy could take the 2 girls at once. He had to have help. That's what you said. Now, again, we have worked a lot of cases, and there are a lot of killers out there who are after young girls that took two at a time. Now, I want to mention right now that one of them we could be talking about is a fellow by the name of Danny Rolling. Danny Rolling, which you guys know is the Gainesville Ripper from Florida. I mean, years ago, he killed 5 or 6 women, and in a number of cases, he took two at a time. And I think in one case, he took 3 or 4 at a time. Another fellow is Lloyd Lee Welch. He took Sheila and Catherine Lyon, 2 young girls, out of a shopping center in Maryland. Right out of a shopping center in Maryland. He took them, he controlled them, abducted them, and then he killed them. Okay. So this goes on more than you think, where one predator can take 2 victims, especially younger girls that are really friends or sisters, and they plan on sticking together no matter what. And again, I will repeat the bullshit that goes on, and he will turn around and tell them, listen, I will not hurt you if you do what I say. If one of you tries to run or get away, I'm going to kill the other one. And that's why most girls won't run. Just stay with me, do what I tell you, and I promise I will not hurt you. That's all lies. It's all bullshit. He's going to kill them. When he gets them to the second area, the second location, that's going to be his kill zone. And then he's going to do what he wants to do, but then he's going to kill them. There's no question about it. And so, believe me when I tell you, and especially if they have a gun, it's a heck of a lot easier to control 2 girls than you might think. So keep that in mind. I'm not saying that's how it went down. We're open to your comments and your feedback, but I'm telling you from experience what we've seen and what we've witnessed, through our history. So those are 2 we have there. Then we have comments on Ron Logan. A lot of people believe, well, a good amount, not a lot. The vast majority actually believe that Bridge Guy is Richard Allen. There's no question about it. But there's, enough feedback for us to realize that other people have different opinions on that. And another opinion is on Ron Logan. Is Ron Logan Bridge Guy? Is Ron Logan Bridge Guy? So we would have to ask ourselves, okay, as professionals, first of all, who did law enforcement arrest for being Bridge Guy? And that would be Richard Allen. So we know they have somebody. Second thing we would have to ask ourselves, would Ron Logan be capable, a 76-year-old man who supposedly had a pretty heavy drinking problem, would he be able to cross that bridge in record time to catch up to these girls? Would he have the physical ability to take control of them and march them an eighth of a mile or a quarter of a mile, whatever you guys say it is? We don't know. We're pretty sure it's between an eighth and a quarter. Definitely not a half, from what we understand on your feedback. And we thank you for that. I appreciate that, because we're not up there. We're not living up there. And, it looks like a lot of twists and curves and turns going over creeks. Ron Logan, can he, control 2 girls going over a creek as well? Freezing creek. I know it was a nice day, but still February, right? And it's still freezing. So, is he able, to do this? Now, so we're talking about a 76-year-old man that's got to get across that bridge pretty quickly, got to catch up with these girls, has to abduct them and control them. We do believe Rich Guy did have a gun. He's got to give them the spiel. not to run. If you run, I'll kill your friend. I promise I won't hurt you if you do what I tell you. Then he's got to march them. He's got to march them over to his kill zone, supposedly cross the creek with them, get them into his kill zone, which happens to be his property. So now he's marched them over to his property, part of his property. And now he kills them, and sexually assaults them. And now he leaves the dead bodies on his property. And the first people that law enforcement pretty much is going to talk to is the owner of that property, right? The last people Ron Logan wants to talk to is the cops, because supposedly he's been out driving around. In fact, they put him in jail for it. So there's no supposing about it. It's fact. He was out driving around without a license because of his drinking. Okay. So now, he's going to leave them on his property, their bodies on his property. I mean, who are the police going to go to first? I mean, a moron would realize, they're going to come and knock on my door pretty much right away as soon as they find these bodies on my property. So, with all that being said, you have to understand that these are all great questions. We have a very smart audience out there, and we really appreciate them. And all the comments you have, we appreciate. Whether you think we're right, wrong, or indifferent, we don't judge. Most importantly, we're open to opinions and having an informative, intelligent conversation back and forth, based on our history and our professional knowledge and professional intuition as well. Okay. So anyway, that's what we have for today. And I hope you guys got something out of this. I hope we answered some of your questions. But again, the main question is Bridge Guy Richard Allen? That is the question. That's the name of the show. It's not, is Bridge Guy Ron Logan? Okay. And Ron Logan's deceased. The authorities really feel they have a strong case against Richard Allen. So I think more will be revealed. We just have to be patient and see. I'm very interested in what they found in Richard Allen's house. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm extremely interested in that. Okay. So hopefully that search warrant's not going to be tossed, and we're going to get to see that, because if there's nothing incriminating in the house, then certainly that may him in a big way with his defense. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I truly appreciate you. We can't thank you enough. Most importantly, keep a focus on yourself. Most importantly, be aware of your environment and where you are and who's around you. Take care of yourself. Be well. And until next time, thank you and God bless.